episode number 11, and today is Wednesday, the 4th of August 2021. So, a lot of things have happened. You might hear my voice is a bit different today, as I was pretty sick for the past about 2 days. We'll talk about that later on, but we usually start off with some fight news. I don't have a lot of fight news. A lot of fights have been announced, but I haven't written them down or anything like that, so I'll probably talk about them in the episode that's gonna come out on, say, Saturday or Friday. So what I do have, obviously, we had the big Bellator fight card that we talked about last episode. So we had AJ McKee, who beat Patricio Pitbull in the first round. He absolutely demolished him, finishing with a head kick, and then kind of as Pitbull kind of fell, so he went to he thought he finished him. He hit him with a head kick, then through a combination, Pitbull fell, so AJ went to walk off. And then Pitbull was still ground. Pitbull went to get up. Then AJ threw in a front headlock or guillotine, whatever you want to call it, and finished the fight. Then we had a fight announced as well for the UFC, which I'm pretty excited about, which is Islam Makhachev versus Rafael dos Anjos for UFC 267. Now, Makhachev has been calling RDA out for ages, and now I do believe Makhachev is ranked number 5. And when he was ranked like number 10 or 12 previous to that, RDA wouldn't fight him because he wasn't ranked high enough. Now Makhachev actually passed RDA in the rankings, and now RDA actually wants to fight him. So that's one of the most exciting fights, obviously, because Khabib and RDA had a bit of beef before, I do believe, and they were supposed to fight, but that never happened. So now we have Islam, who is obviously Khabib's cousin, one of Khabib's training partners. And now he's going to fight RDA, and it's going to be pretty exciting to see how that fight plays out, because obviously RDA is such a good fighter, but he's kind of on the downslope. He's getting older, and Islam is currently on the rise at the moment. So no one really wants to fight him. So RDA steps in to fight him. I do believe that Islam is going to fight for the title early next year. I think he could even win the title. He's just too good. His striking is very good. His wrestling is very good. He's really well rounded. And there was actually a lot of people in this gym, obviously in AKA, that said that he's just a better version of Khabib. He just doesn't have the time in the cage. I'm not sure if he's undefeated. I think he's like 20-1 or 19-1 at the moment. So he does have a lot of experience, but not at the highest level. So he's a bit on the come up, and people do say he's just a bit better version of Khabib because his striking is much better and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that's it for fight news. I watched a few movies there on the weekend. I think on Sunday or Saturday, I think I watched like 2 movies. I think it's the most movies I've watched in a single day in the last 2 years, because I can never watch a movie. If I watch one, I'll just end up watching like half of it or something like that, and then that's it. I just finish. Same with series. I cannot watch long series and stuff like that. So I actually end up watching the new Fast and Furious. Now I didn't really know who was going to be in it, to be honest, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but obviously I haven't watched the trailer for it, and then I seen that John Cena was in it. Oh, that really surprised me, because I was like, what? Because obviously I didn't see the trailer, and I believe he is in the trailer, so I didn't watch the trailer for it. So that pretty much shocked me when I see John Cena there. But overall, the movie is great. I think I definitely recommend watching. Now there's mixed reviews for it, of some things that do happen in movies in this movie. A few things that does happen in this movie, and there is like mixed reviews for it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was enjoyable. And one thing that I thought was really funny is, obviously, the UFC heavyweight champion, Francis Ngannou, was in the movie. And he literally got about a second. He was literally in the movie for about a second. He was in it for about 1 frame. And I want to say, well, I think he played as a security guard. And literally, I was surprised. When I seen it first, I think it was like in the middle of the movie, I seen it, I was so surprised. I was like, oh geez, Francis Ngannou's in this movie as well. And then he never appeared again. And he was literally, like, for a minute, it was literally like the camera just kind of swiped past him to show that he was guarding someone, and then that's it. And I was just thinking to myself, would I do the movie if they said, you're gonna go do a movie, and then you ask them, oh, what's my role and stuff, what am I gonna do? The next thing they go, oh yeah, and they tell you what you're gonna do, and all you done was just sit there with a gun for about a second, and that was it. Now I'm not sure what he got paid for it, but personally, would I be willing to? I probably would do it, to be honest, because it is a bit of recognition and stuff like that. But I just think it's a bit not fair on him. Like, he is a big star and stuff like that. Obviously not a big movie star, but obviously a big combat sports star. And he literally got like a frame of like a second of a role in the movie. Like, I don't know if that was me. I don't know if someone offered me, "Oh, do you want to be in this movie?" As I said, and they said, "Oh, you only got about a second." I don't know if I agreed to that. Well, I mean, if the money was there, if they were paying really good, I'd definitely do it. But I thought it was funny. And then I watched The Last Mercenary with Jean-Claude Van Damme as well. I really enjoyed that movie. It's like a spy comedy type of movie. Not gonna spoil it. It's only out there. I did watch it. It's only out this year. Not sure how long, but it came out in good quality, so I downloaded it and I watched it. And I did really enjoy the movie. It's very relaxing or something like that. You don't have to do a lot of thinking because it's more like a comedy type of a movie. Now I won't like. I've seen Jean-Claude Van Damme's previous movies and stuff like that, but this one I really enjoyed it because he aged a good bit as well now. He does look super old. I'm actually not sure what age. He must be in his 70s now, or late 60s or mid 60s or something like that. But he actually acted super well, and he's still got the flexibility for kicks and stuff like that. He can still do the splits, the famous Jean-Claude splits and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend if you've nothing to be at. I definitely recommend just downloading or whatever, or maybe it's on Netflix or something like that. I doubt they're out on Netflix yet, but if you're gonna watch it, I definitely recommend watching Fast and Furious 9 and then the Last Missionary by Jean-Claude Van Damme. And that's actually really good. So what else have we got to talk about? Oh, one of the things I want to talk about is YouTube Shorts. Okay, so there's a new yoke on YouTube now. Obviously, if you're using your phone, whatever, you have your subscribers, your stuff like that at the very bottom, and then there's a yoke called Shorts. It's basically like 30-second videos or minute videos, like basically like TikTok. And I'm not messing. I was watching for about an hour. I sat there watching these short videos, and I can definitely see how people get addicted to stuff like TikTok and stuff like that, because it's so simple. Like, all you're doing is like, these are 30 or minute videos, and each video is different, and it's not very long, so you don't really need a lot of attention span for these videos. Especially like if you think about like TikTok, they only 15 seconds on TikTok or something like that, and every video is different. Well, probably not sure. I got TikTok when it just came out, but it's just a load of fucking shite, to be honest with me, if I'm being honest. So I don't have any more. But YouTube Shorts, I was watching different prank videos and stuff like that. They were actually pretty funny. And I must have sat there for about an hour just watching them. But I can definitely see how people get addicted to stuff like that. Like, you can just sit there for I can see people sitting there for like hours and hours upon hours just flicking through, because every video is different, so you're just constantly flicking through, and I didn't realize that I was there for about an hour to an hour and a half just sitting there watching YouTube Shorts. Like, time flew, because obviously, as I said, you don't really need a lot of attention span. Each video is different, so you're constantly watching something different for like a minute, and the time is just adding up. So you're watching, like, say I spend an hour, so I watched about 60 videos or so, maybe a bit less or a bit more. I'm not sure, because I think they're a minute long each video, so something like that. But sure, imagine you spend like 3 hours. I definitely see how people get addicted to stuff like TikTok and YouTube Shorts now. I only find out that these YouTube Shorts exist there on the weekend, because I never knew they were there, like, and stuff like that. So, and it's really smart marketing as well, especially like TikTok. That's one of the things why the videos are so short, because nowadays people, especially young people, when they're 13, 14, that's the only people that are really on TikTok at the moment, I think. And their attention span is so short, and that's why these really short videos are so good and such a good marketing thing, because no one's gonna sit there and watch an hour video, with 40 minutes. A kid is not gonna watch that, you know what I mean? But something that's 15 seconds or a minute, and they just get to flick through. They spend hours and hours and hours, and you just get addicted to it. The phone is already addicting without the little apps like TikTok and stuff like that. So people just get addicted, and they definitely see how they get addicted, because I spent an hour watching some YouTube Shorts that I never knew about. You know what I mean? Maybe that's why I did watch it for so long, because I never knew about him, Okay, so what else have we got? Yeah, so as I said in the start of the video, my voice might sound a little bit different. I'm actually much better today, but I had to take off Monday, Tuesday, and today is Wednesday, so today I should be back training. But I was pretty sick there the last 2 days. I got a bit of a head cold, and I had a bad headache as well for like them 2 days. But I don't feel bad. But I I was talking to my coach, and then I said, because I never got sick during fight camp. So for my last fight, I was getting ready for about 6 months for my last fight, right? Never didn't even catch a dose or anything in them 6 months, right? So now I had pretty bad last week. Obviously after my fight, I haven't eaten anything bad in about, I don't know, but probably like 6 months time, but 4 months time, I would say, whatever. I haven't eaten anything bad, and then I spent the whole last week just eating sweets and just eating shy, mainly sweets. Like I still ate most of the stuff that I eat during fight camp, but I was eating so many sweets. Like I was eating to the point I was nearly getting sick. You know what I mean? And obviously I did get sick a few times because I was eating so much. But it just goes to show how food affects your body. Because I never got sick in the last 6 months, and that was during fight camp. And I felt great, obviously, because I was eating clean, everything's clean. And as soon as I started eating shite, like the sweets and stuff, I just get sick straight away. It just goes to show how it affects your body. And I don't understand like people that eat constantly, like every day eat pizzas and stuff like that. Like I haven't had a pizza in absolutely ages. I might actually get one on the weekend, I'm not sure, because I haven't had a pizza in about 6 or so months, and I do love myself a good pizza, so I might get one. But like my diet right at the moment, I weighed myself actually this morning. I'm about, what was I this morning? I was super light. I thought I was like in the mid 70s. I thought it was about 76 kilos because of the amount of shite and stuff like that. But I actually weighed myself this morning. I was only about 70 or 69 kilos or something like that. Can't remember exactly, but which is super light. I usually, like after a fight, I balloon up to about 73 kilos. So this time around, I actually only went up to about 69 kilos. But all like this week, I have been eating really clean, like super clean. It was all week, and I think that's why my weight is low enough. So now, obviously, like during camp, right at the moment I'm actually eating the exact same food as I ate out of camp. I mean, during camp I'm eating the same food right now out of camp. So I'm just like, my usual dinner would be, I usually have rice and stuff like that for dinner, and now I'm just having bigger portions. That's all because like my last 2 or 3 weeks in camp, I was eating about 1,300 calories or something like that. Now I'm eating about 2,000 calories. So I'm still eating the exact same food, because I know how my body feels really good. I can train really hard with the foods I'm eating currently right now, because obviously over the years of fighting, over the years of dieting and stuff, I know what my body works the best off. So right now I'm eating everything the exact same as I would be in camp. I'm just eating more portions. Now don't get me wrong, because I'm out of camp for another, say, 2 or 3 weeks, then I'll jump back into camp, get ready for another fight, I'll still dabble in a few sweets. Like I'll have a bit of a chocolate bar, you know what I mean, like once or twice a week, or something like that. But I usually try and keep really clean, because I know what my body needs to, it's kind of what it works the best off, and I'm just sticking to that. I just have more portions than usual, and that's about it. Right. What else do I have to talk about? I have a few notes here. I think that's actually it. Very short episode today. It's only about 13 minutes. And what time is it? It's not even 10 o'clock. It's actually in about half an hour. The freestyle wrestling for the Olympics is actually starting. So that's gonna be mad. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure what. I think it's like the 85 kilos and the 67 kilo freestyle wrestling men's. I know the Greco-Roman wrestling is on now. I'm not mad into the Greco-Roman. I seen that the man, I think he's from Colombia again. I think he won the first place there in Greco-Roman wrestling. I think like 97 kilos or something like that. I think it was 97 kilos, and he's got 4 gold medals, and I think it's like 4 Olympics in a row that he's been in. Not sure now if he's going to enter the next years because he actually looks pretty old. He looks like he's in his late 30s, so I'm not sure if he's going to go to the Olympics next year. Obviously, he's going to be in 4 years' time, the next one, so he might be over 40. I'm not sure if he's going to go, but I think he's the first ever Greco-Roman Olympian to win 4 Olympics in a row, and I think he has the most gold medals actually in Greco-Roman, which is 4, so which is pretty incredible. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the freestyle wrestling now in about half an hour. As I was talking in the last episode, Team USA have an amazing freestyle wrestling team. It's going to be between Team Russia and Team USA. They believe in freestyle. I think the heavyweights, like, I know Iman Gable Stevenson is a young lad. He's doing heavyweight. I think he's the same weight as Sadulayev from Russia, but Sadulayev just has so much more experience than Gable Stevenson, and he's probably as athletic as him. He's a bit older. I think the experience, if they do meet, I think they're in the same division. If they do meet though, Sadulayev, I think will crush him, because, look, don't get me wrong, Gable Stevenson is good, but I think this is his first Olympics. He's still a bit young. He's only still about 22, and obviously Sadulayev has been, I think he's like in his mid-30s, and I think this is like his 4th or something, like Olympic Games or something like that. So he does have a lot of experience, and he's like multiple time world champion in freestyle wrestling in heavyweight. So it'll be pretty interesting. Well, I read actually something funny about the Olympics, and it's a bit of a conspiracy theory. So there's a transgender, so in the powerlifting or whatever, and he got, I think it was in the powerlifting, but now everyone's their own opinion. I think that if you're transgender or anything like that, if you used to be a man and now you decide to be a woman, I don't think you should be competing with women. You know what I mean? Like, your testosterone level for most of your life was super high compared to women's. I know you get a sex change, whatever, but I guarantee you the T level is still really high. But there was a bit of a conspiracy theory, because I was listening to Andrew Schultz's podcast, and he was on about it, and they said that obviously the transgender, I can't remember the name actually, or where he or she, whatever wants to be called, or she, we'll call her she, whatever. Well, I'm not sure where she's from actually. But not sure where she's from. But the conspiracy behind it is that she went to do her first lift, and say her personal best for like a snatch was, we'll say like 200 kilos, for example, right? That's her personal best. She never lifted anything more, but she actually went and lifted something like, she went to try and lift something like 230 kilos, something that she knew that she was never going to lift. But the conspiracy basically behind it is that she did such a high weight, so in the next Olympics, they'll have more transgender people competing. So obviously men that turned women competing against women, or women that turned men competing against men. But now I did read a yoke, where was it? The Olympic Commission, that did say they're going to investigate it, and I don't think for the next one they're going to allow that, which I believe is not fair, because obviously he or she, can't remember the name of it, just if I knew the name, what was the name? Anyways, but like, when you do a sex change when you're like 30, your testosterone level is super high until like she's 30, like, and then she gets the sex change. Her T level is still gonna be really high, way higher than the women she's gonna be competing against. So I believe it's not fair. But anyways, whatever. That's the rant over. I think that's gonna be it for this episode. The wrestling is gonna start now in about 15 or so minutes. I'm gonna watch that. Really hope you enjoyed the episode. I always say, make sure you leave in a comment down below of whatever you want me to talk about. This is a bit of a short episode. I think it's only 18-19 minutes or so. I'm trying to do longer ones, so I'm gonna have more topics to write down to talk about. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Obviously, write in the comments whatever you want me to talk about in the next episode. Make sure you go follow us on Instagram as well, at Talk With Maksim Show. If you just go follow me on Instagram for all updates and stuff like that. So before a new episode comes out, I'm constantly putting up on Instagram saying, look, my next episode is out, and I'm gonna be trying to do little polls, because I know on Instagram you can do jokes like ask me a question. So I'm gonna be doing little polls on Instagram and putting stuff up and that you want me to talk about in the next episode. So make sure you go follow me on that. Make sure you obviously subscribe to this channel, liking and hitting the bell notification button and stuff like that. And I really hope you enjoyed this episode. This one is a bit slow because I'm obviously a little bit sick still, So I'm not too bad, so I should be back to training, but my energy is a bit low, obviously being sick for the past 2 days, so this episode is kind of low energy, we'll call it low energy compared to the last one, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one.